In this Talisman Tactica vlog, we're going to explore the way of gold. And this question is asking the question, as far as I know, there is no physical limit on gold. The physical limit is literally the physical coins in the game. We played a recent game which got me thinking on this Tactica where the thief had made it to the Crown of Command with 33 gold coins. And they were not following a strategy of auto-generation. Obviously, playing the thief character, there wasn't a way for them to rapidly acquire gold every time they took an action. This gold was just from visiting various adventure cards. So the first aspect is, how do we acquire gold in the game? Then we'll look at some of the uses, and then we'll explore a possible strategy. Acquisition. The number one way to acquire is, of course, flipping over adventure cards. In the base game, there's apparently 1 and 2 bags of gold found everywhere within the realm. Another possibility is through magical objects, spells, stealing gold, or certain quests. Do this, do that, get some gold. An event card, roll this, roll a 6, get a gold coin. So generation as it is, it's kind of like in terms of acquisition, magic objects seem to be the primary focus, then followers, and then gold, which how the game, of course, wants to push it out. Now, there are a few characters that have the ability to randomly generate or acquire gold much easier. The first would obviously be the leprechaun. Another great example would be the alchemist, where at any time they can transform an item, reducing it to gold, which on a side note, we've explored the alchemist character, pushed that up to the Talisman playlist. An interesting character because not only can you rapidly acquire gold, which makes the way of gold as a strategy for the Crown of Command much more accessible, but it's a great way to kind of get rid of certain objects and pull them out of play. You draw the rune sword, you draw the orb of prophecy, we've got to target you. We can't let you have that item. I draw that, I know now I am target number one for every player in the game. I can keep it and try to fend them off, but then at a certain point, even with the rune sword and the orb, while they're powerful, the harassment from other players makes it not really worth it. So what do I want to do? Run into the dungeon with a teleport spell, drop it off somewhere and get out, or destroy it as the alchemist? So that is kind of an interesting side strategy. But now as you acquire gold, how do we use it? Well, the base expansion itself, gold is really end game, where you're getting ready to make the race for the Crown of Command. You think you've got enough strength or craft, whatever that is, double it just to be sure. You want to heal up. You want to get those lives up. So you visit the doctor, you pay some gold, you're ready to go. Healing in the game is very, very important. Keeping that health at the higher level, gold is the easiest way to do it. Second would be drawing a spell or having an ability to possibly do that, or a magic object to possibly do that. So that is the primary focus of gold at the end of the game. At the beginning of the game, gold's use is to buy some armor. One of the things you want to do, unless it's a character class that you're not allowed to wear armor, buy a helmet, buy a shield, buy the armor. This way, if you lose physical combat, at least you have another layer before you lose life. Another way to buy gold is, of course, buying a mule. You kind of want to get that as soon as possible, or possibly buying spells through an event card. So there are a couple of other options and reasons for gold. But then as you move to mid-game, what do you really need it for? Because now you've got some followers, now you've got some objects. Gold gets magnified tremendously if the expansions are in place, specifically the city expansion, because you can really take a very, very quick shortcut. While you have to go around the track in one way, the city, you stop off, you buy potions. A couple of those potions might be, of course, it's Talisman, roll a d6. Hopefully you've got some fate. You could get poisoned, but you could add +1 strength, +1 craft, +1 life. There's ways to quickly boost that. If you want to go in and buy the flail, one of the most broken but best weapons in the game. If you want to buy some spells, there's this Tactica in Talisman. This is why losing a turn in Talisman is big. You are tracked. It's your turn. You are trying to make the most optimal move in that moment. You're drawing a card. You don't really have a control over what that card is. I might have the Orb of Prophecy. I might have an ability that lets me look at 2 cards, know what I get. But the idea is I'm trying to maximize the turns with my cards. Now, if I can go into the city and know if I go into the armory, if I have the gold, these are the objects I'm guaranteed to get because I can buy them. If I go into the spell shop, these are the things I can guarantee and buy. If I buy pets, I can get that. If I draw potions while they're blind, I can draw this. You have some agency, you have some control over the random. You need gold to do that. So if you have the city in play, all of a sudden gold becomes a lot more powerful. Now let's explore and framework this out. I don't have a character that can automatically generate gold. I hear what you say, Fritz, about the city. Let's do this, but I need some gold. If you have the Highlands in play and you're playing with that expansion, without giving away any spoilers, there are a number of gems, rubies, emeralds, opals, things like that are 2 for 1. When you turn them in, you get 2 gold. They're sprinkled into the deck enough that if you bounce around 5, 8 turns, you have a good chance of drawing 1, 2, 3 of these. Now, whether you continue to bounce around for some objects or maybe make a run for the Eagle King, that's a separate tactica. But that synergy of gaining the gold in the Highlands to trade in these gems works very, very powerfully, which will give you that gold to do it. So turning it over to my fellow Talisman enthusiasts, the way of gold. How much gold have you ended the game with? How much gold can you have in the game? And what uses, beginning, middle, and end, does gold have?